What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Do you struggle to find really good order blocks? If so, I'm going to be going over how I find the best possible order blocks in this video. So stay tuned for that. If you want to watch me live stream every single day, don't forget to click the link in the bio. Okay, click the WAP link. You can join my monthly membership. I live trade every day, so it's always really transparent. You can see me live execute on the screen. So make sure to click that link, and then make sure to click that Apex 71% off discount. Use code Dodgy. Don't forget. Okay. Again, they're not really doing the 90% off sales a lot. I messaged some guy and they said they weren't doing another one for a while. So cop yourself a few accounts, and yeah. All right, let's get into the video. So as you guys can see, I finally got a new camera, new set up, and new lighting and a green screen and everything. So you can see it's a little off of my hair, but other than that, it's pretty good. So again, going to be a little more professional. You're not going to see a background. And yeah, so in this video, obviously, I'm going to get started. I don't want to talk too much, but I'm going to be going over how to find actually good order blocks. So one of the mistakes I see with the order blocks is I actually do like these little homework assignments in my Discord. And see, it gets a little off topic here, but one of the things that someone sent was this. Okay, so I'm just going to actually open this up so you guys can see it better. But you can clearly see in this example here, what they have marked is, let me zoom this out again. What they have marked is they kind of put this green candle when we had a down move here. But the problem with this one is it wasn't really sandwiched between anything. And then the difference between this one right here is these two green candles are kind of sandwiched between this red candle, okay? That's the order block, not number one, but number two is. So I didn't realize a lot of people, I know they get really confused with these, so I wanted to make a video about them. But the best possible order blocks are always going to be kind of sandwiched between like the opposite or opposing candle. For example, like a bullish order block, which was right here, which does fail, okay? You can see it is sandwiched between these two green candles. Right, a bullish order block isn't going to be like, let's look for example. A bullish order block isn't going to be like a giant down move and then up. So like here's an example right here. So if I were to go on the 1 minute time frame around here, I'm gonna have to go all the way back. I'm sorry for moving my mouse so much. This is not going to be a bullish order block because there's too much displacement, too many red candles. All right, so you can clearly see, like in this example here, I know this is a little confusing. It's not obviously sandwiched between two green candles, as in like this example, these three green candles are very clearly kind of sandwiched between these two red candles and this red candle here. So the chain of state delivery of the order block would be when we close below here. All right, so same thing with this one right here. Here's a clear bullish order block. See how these two are clearly sandwiched between this green and this green right here? Like those are the order blocks we want to look for. Okay, so that's kind of the first mistake when it comes to order blocks that you really want to notice and use. Okay, a couple more examples like here. Okay, here's a very obvious green candle. It's clearly sandwiched between two green candles, right? An order block cannot just be a ton of red candles, okay? And I know on the higher time frame this could be an order block, but make sure like the best ones you're looking for are always sandwiched between the two opposing candles. So here would be an example. Let's see if I find another one. Here would be an example. There's two series of candles and they're kind of sandwiched between these two red candles, right? So when this red candle kind of closes beneath the last up close candle, that's an order block. Right, so you can kind of see, like, I'm trying to point out to you guys, like, a signature and price, and it's not going to make sense until you see kind of a ton of examples. So, obviously here's a signature, here. This isn't really an order block, but I'm just trying to point out the signature and price. Okay, here, right? See how these are, like, really obvious candles, and most of them are going to be one candle, but there is times where, okay, it will be two candles, like here, for example, right? So you're just looking for these series of down close candles sandwiched between two green candles, right? And obviously vice versa for if you're looking for green candles sandwiched between red candles. Okay, so hopefully that kind of makes sense what I'm saying. Again, it's just a signature and price you're definitely going to have to remember. But you can clearly see red candles sandwiched between a bunch of green candles, right? That's the signature and price I'm trying to point out. The other mistake or the other thing on how I find high probability order blocks is they have to have like a decent body. Okay, like it can't be a wiki candle. So, for example, if I were to just go to, let's say, this candle right here, this is a down close candle, right? Price opens here and closes here. Okay, so this is going to be bullish order block. However, I will not use this one because it's not obvious, right? It's, even though it's sandwiched between green candles, it's not obvious. There's a giant wick to it, right? It just doesn't make sense to use. Another example would be something like this. Here's a down close candle. We close above it, make it an order block, but these are never going to be high probability order blocks. Okay, the order blocks you want to be using are the ones with like really solid bodies. Okay, so there's going to be some where they do have like a decent wick compared to the body. However, if it's an order block and it's clearly sandwiched and you can clearly see it and the body's like a good size, for example, this one, that is fine to use. Okay, so that's what I'm kind of looking for. I see so many people, they draw out these random like doji candles, and if you don't know what a doji candle is, it's just when we get like a really tiny body compared to a wick, and they draw out these doji candles and they call them order blocks. Okay, they are not high probability order blocks. So many people use them. I don't know why. Like here's the difference. So here would be a high probability order block here, but like this one, not really, because it's just so wicky. Like I wouldn't trust that one ever. Same thing with like this one right here. Okay, very wicky candle. I wouldn't trust it. Okay, here's one that I trust. Right, this series of down close candles, because even though this is the doji candle, this is a very solid candle. So when we close above both those, that's your kind of change in, say, delivery, okay, or your OB being formed, right? So those are the kind of candles you want to see. All right, so if I just go back to like Monday, all right, a great example would be something like this. Okay, here's an obvious order block. The body is very big, right? You can clearly see it, but I'm basing this trade off of, if I were to take a long, off of this candle. I'm not basing it off this tiny little doji candle. I'm not going to call this an order block, okay? A lot of people have this marked as an order block. You do not want to be using these candles. They're just not high probability. All right, so make sure you guys are kind of using these candles that are obvious. They don't have a ton of wicks, okay? And if they do, make sure they're paired with another one that's like really strong. Okay, so like, again, this example right here, we got these two red candles sandwiched between these two green candles, right? When we close above that, that would be your chain of state delivery / order block. And just so you guys know, that means the same thing. Chain of state delivery is the same thing as an order block. They're a little different. If you go into a really advanced, they're a little different. Like sometimes a chain of state delivery will take liquidity, well, maybe an OB doesn't, but they're the same general concept. So what I want you to go into this week is make sure you're focusing on these order blocks that have actual good bodies, and make sure they're kind of obvious and you can kind of see the bodies are kind of holding up well. So you don't want to use these like really wicky candles that might not be obvious, okay? So that is kind of how I identify high probability order blocks. Again, it's different for everyone, but from my experience, these are the best order blocks to mark, right? They have to have a decent body. Right, so just to summarize the video, they have to have a good body, obvious / strong body, all right? And the best ones will be sandwiched between opposing color candle, okay? And remember, it can be maybe 2 or 3 candle sandwich, as long as it's not like a, I mean, I wouldn't use, so here's a series of up close candles. I would not use this. This is way too much. Like I know the chain of state delivery would technically be when we close below that last up close candle. So make sure you're using like a decent size. Like this one is just too big. You want to be using something like this, for example. Okay, there's only, in this example, there's only 2 candles up that are up close candles. They're clearly sandwiched between this red candle here and this red candle here. So this I would use for the OB / chain of state delivery. Okay, I would not use this because you'd have to wait so long, and it takes so long for price to even close on that last up close candle. And by the time price comes back down here, why would you want to short that? You wouldn't, right? You want to get a better short. So that's the other thing. Sandwich between opposing color candle, and make sure the up close candles are not like 50 million points. Okay. So these are the two main tips I have for when I'm using order blocks. Again, make sure to study these. Look for these this week. For anyone wondering about this week, make sure you do not trade Monday. It's MLK Day. The volume is probably just going to be terrible, and we're going to be choppy all day. So I'm not going to even touch Monday, but Tuesday through Friday should be fun. And yeah, that's all I got for this video. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know how you guys like my new camera. And yeah, what I want you to do if you made it this far, comment the word price. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace.